Welcome viewers of World Wonder Prediction. We have been dispelling the mysteries that happening around the world through the wonder predictor Mr. Babu. Today we are going to reveal the mystery of the Titanic which sank in Atlantic Ocean in 1912. First let me tell who is Mr. Babu. Babu has the power of Saint Agastya. Through this power, he can able to predict 30,000, 40,000 a year ago in the past, current and future. That means he can predict anything about the world, anything about a particular person. So, he is called as Wonder Predictor. Sir, welcome to World Wonder Prediction, sir. We have been dispelling the mysteries around the world. Today, we are going to reveal the mystery of Titanic which sank in 1912.
From a country on the way to America route. In fact, it was an Atlantic route. They named the peculiar place as Atlantic because a ship sank in Atlantic. But that ship has got another name. Earlier, it has got another name. After it sank in the sea, name of place got connected. At the same time, in that ship, lot of voyagers were there, and also it has got lot of cargo in it. As it has got lot of cargo in it, just like a huge warship, in such a way it has been created in a big way. So everybody liked that ship. That's what Agastya is saying. London or else Britain or any nearby countries. From that place, so many people tried to travel at the same time to different places. In 1870s, they decided. After taking that decision, in the year 1896, they created and produced and launched it. To build the ship, it took nearly 12 years. Even took more time to complete the entire ship. It was a vast, huge ship. They spent so many years to build the ship and started sailing. In that ship, lots and lots of cargoes and lot of people were in it. It was such a magnanimous ship altogether. That's what Agastya says. When they were about to cross the Atlantic, two rivers. It was a place where two rivers joins. It was like two joining places. Due to the heavy undercurrent, gigantic waves were created. Because of that, the ship couldn't maintain the balance. It was such a gigantic waves. They went through a passage, but in between, they lost their way. When such a thing happened, the ship got into the waves. Simultaneously, there was very heavy rain. Due to the heavy storm and rain, heavy waves, the ship couldn't retain its balance. Finally, the ship sank in the deep sea. Saint Augustine says so. So many people died. And also they lost all the cargoes in the sea. The ship got stuck in the bottom of the sea. And that's what he is saying. Both sides there were a problem. The ship couldn't go either way. In fact, the ship got stuck in between the two paths. Without the balance, it got damaged. Due to this, water got into the ship. Once the water entered the ship, everything got stuck up. And that's what the problem happened. And that's what he's saying.
So, would you tell about the launch of this big Titanic?
The ship was nearly 300 feet broad. Length will be nearly 1,000 feet. Such a vast and magnanimous ship they have created in such a gigantic way.
Sir, how many people were gathered to see the launch of Titanic?
So many people were there. Approximately 2,000 people were present there.
Sir, how many people were gathered to see the launch of Titanic?
Nearly 15,000 people were there in that period.
How many people were traveling the ship Titanic?
Almost 1,200 and more than that.
So the inventor of radio, the scientist Marconi, had a plan to travel in the Titanic ship, but he missed the ship travel. Was it true?
He got a warning message in his mind. That's the truth. That's why he didn't join the cruise.
Sir, how did the scientist Marconi got the cautious information?
His mind and body was not energetic for the last 2 days. He has got some wavering effect. some sort of disturbance. Likewise, we are about to go somewhere. We'll have some oscillations, whether to go or not. So finally, he cancelled the program.
There is a separate chamber to reserve the charcoal in the ship. It was burned and they have a burning mark in the outside of the Titanic ship. This is one kind of speech was going on. And the other one is saying that the ship was hit in the iceberg, so it break into two pieces and sink into the sea. What was happening at that time really?
It's a mistake done by the captain of the ship. They lost their way and hit over the glaciers. Both the sides they have blockage with the iceberg. Finally, they got stuck up and hit the glaciers. It was a massive hit. The entire ship was shaken. Suddenly, the charcoal got fired.
The charcoal firing in the ship lead to break down the wall of the ship very easily to sink in the Atlantic Ocean, or really it break down because of a hit in the iceberg.
That's because of the glacier. It's because captain lost the way. Finally, the ship hit the icebergs. Both the sides they were glaciers. It's very hard to push it and take it over. When they tried, everything started to open. The water entered inside. Simultaneously, on some part, there was a fire also. Wherever they have stocked the charcoal, that got fired. And that's what he is saying so.
Iceberg was on the direction of the ship route, or they were travel on the wrong route.
It was nearly 1 hour voyage. That 1 hour, they completely lost their way.
Was it the only reason lead to hit in the iceberg and to sink?
Yeah, definitely. That's the truth.
Sir, was there any warning of iceberg to the captain of the ship?
No.
There was a saving prevails. The binocular room was locked. The key was taken by the ship captain. The captain was departed in halfway from the travel to the England. This kind of saying was going on. Was it true?
Definitely not. He also died there. That's not true.
Sir, what was the captain doing at that time?
They tried their best. They rescued so many passengers. He saved several lives. He didn't escape. He also died over there.
Was it a plan, the Titanic to hit the iceberg so as to claim the insurance policy?
They never gone through the wrong way. Last 1 hour they lost their way. That's all. When they tried to pass over, but they couldn't cross the icebergs. That's what happened.
Sir, the White Star Line shipping company owner were not travel on that voyage. Why did not he travel in that?
They also had a group of people and planned for the voyage. But at the particular time, they had some family problems. There were several issues in the family, so they postponed the program. So they didn't join the cruise.
Sir, but the White Star Line chairman was told at that time, I have a discomfort in my health condition, so I was not able to travel in the ship. He was saying like that, but the next day he were participating in the club with the full health condition, which is true.
That's the reason. His body condition stopped him. That's the truth. So he didn't join the cruise that day. He was not able to do so. Next day he was alright. That's why he joined the club. But it's not pre-planned at any cost.
So the strongest controversy is going on. The White Star Line company has 3 ships. One is Britannic, then the next one is Olympic, third one is Titanic. The Olympic ship was hit the small ship and tried to get the insurance claim. The insurance company denied the claim, and also that Olympic company owner has to pay the demurrage for the small ship. So they plan to get the insurance policy by using the same ship, only changing the name. The real ship floated in the sea was Titanic. Olympic ship was renamed as Titanic, which is true.
They never did anything to get the insurance. They were already rich and royal. Actually, they wanted to create more ships like that. That's the truth, and they never played double games for the insurance.
So the people around the world want to know the inch by inch situation of the sinking of Titanic.
During their voyage, by the way, both the sides they have massive waves, also heavy rainfall, totally surrounded by heavy mist. When they tried their best to cross over there, for that purpose, he changed the direction a little bit diverted. It took nearly half an hour to cross the waves, and finally he lost the way. Again and again he tried to cross. For another half an hour they tried. Finally they hit with the iceberg. What they thought was, the glaciers will melt in the sea, so finally they can cross. That's what they planned. Because the crews had a great weight, but she couldn't break the iceberg. When they tried to turn around, they got stuck up with the glaciers. They were surrounded and stuck in between the glaciers. When they tried to retreat, one side ship got damaged and water got into it. Another side it was broken and got fired. Half of the ship was burnt in the fire. On the other side, it got collapsed. That's what happened. The Titanic ship was broken into two pieces. A split happened and got stuck up. Once it got fired, after hit with the glacier, it was crashed into pieces. That's how a lot of people died. This is what happened on that day.
Sir, the ship was broken into two pieces as shown in the Titanic film.
In the middle of the cruise, there was a split and got divided into two pieces.
The director of Titanic predicted the exactly same as the real Titanic.
Yes, almost the same. Little bit fantasy was added to spice it
Sir,
up.
at what time the ship was broken and what was the temperature at that time?
Minus 13 degrees. Temperature. There is no sun in Atlantic, so there is no power of sun. Both the sides there were icebergs. It's more than minus 13. To be more than 35 to 40. But definitely it was minus 13.
Sir, why the White Star Line company did not reserve the enough lifeboat in the Titanic?
There were a lot of lifeboats. They thought that was enough. Captain thought that was more than enough.
Sir, how long the ship take to sink into the sea? Because the Titanic director showed the ship throughout the film for 2 hours 40 minutes. Somebody are saying that the real Titanic was taken 2 hours 40 minutes to sink into the sea. Is it true?
Through the movie, he wanted to depict the entire incidents lively. It took more than 3.5 hours.
The Titanic captain did try to get help from the neighboring ship.
He couldn't do so. There was heavy storm and rainfall. He couldn't communicate with others. He was stuck up within the glaciers. That was the problem. That's why the captain and others couldn't escape from there. In fact, nobody escaped from there. Everybody died over there.
Sir, somebody was saying that they contacted for the neighboring two ships. One ship come for the rescue of the passenger and one did not come because another ship captain was went to sleep. So one ship came for the rescue operation. This kind of suggestion was going on.
In that surrounding, up to 17 miles, there were no ships over there.
No ship were come for the rescue.
Yes.
Sir, how many people were rescued from the ship Titanic? Really, the women's and children's all saved from the ship?
Not so many. One or two could have been rescued. Not so many of them were rescued.
Sir, one book was released just 14 years ago, the first voyage of Titanic. The title was The Wreck of the Titan. The Wreck of the Titan. How it was happened, sir? The book writer was a predictor. It is a very amazing news to the world.
It was not prediction. It was an intuition. That's what we used to say. That's what happened to the writer of the book.
Sir, how the people were rescued from the ship Titanic?
People left the ship and tried to rescue themselves in the lifeboat. They tried to move on in the lifeboat. Those who came to rescue tied a rope and carried the people. Almost so many people died.
How many people were rescued and how many dead, sir?
Very few were saved. Almost most of them died. Nearly 30 people were alive. Very few were alive.
Sir, how did the passenger able to use the lifeboat?
Those who worked on the cruise had free time. That's how they learned about the lifeboat.
So the workers of the Titanic tried to rescue the passenger.
So many of them dived out and tried to escape from there, but even then they couldn't do so. One or two rescued that way, but they definitely helped them out.
So any of the employee of the ship survived in that incident?
No, not at all. Nobody was rescued.
Sir, how the people were died in that incident? Because you told me the temperature was minus 13 degrees centigrade. How did they die?
It was really a chilling to kill experience with the glaciers. They couldn't swim and cross the icebergs. They couldn't come out through the chillness. In such a situation, they all died.
Sir, some saying was going on because most of the passengers were not able to come out of their room because every room was locked. They have died inside the room. Was it true?
Yeah, definitely it's true.
White Star Line company claimed the insurance.
As there were a lot of passengers, definitely they would have received the claim. Those passengers were died. They got the insurance claim. That's true.
Sir, then the newspaper heading was the Titanic sink but no life lost. This was the heading at that day. Why the heading was like this?
People would be scared. They won't go out. That's why they made a news like that. Later on, one by one news came out.
Sir, how does it take 3.5 hours to sink into the sea?
Each part of the ship got broken. Finally, the middle part got broken. That's why the entire ship sank. Till then, the weight balanced because it was wooden material. Moreover, fire that got inside, then water got into it. No one could do anything. That's what happened.
What are all the laws in that incident, sir?
They couldn't even take small things. Everything was a great loss.
Sir, is it possible to rescue the wreck of Titanic ship from the deep of the ocean?
It was totally stuck in the bottom. It's impossible to recover.
So, was there any kind of love affairs like in the film Titanic?
Nothing like that. So many people enjoyed because so many couples were there. There was no love and romance.
One nurse was working in the White Star Line company. She were traveling in the 3 ships. One is Olympic, another one is Britannic, third one is Titanic. They met with the accident in 3 ships, but she only survived. Was it true, sir?
She was on 2 ships, not on Titanic. It was a lie altogether.
So she did not travel in the Titanic? 100%. Sir, one last question, sir. The Titanic ship was so big and tremendous. They had planned it will not sink into the sea. The power of iceberg is bigger than the bigger ship.
More than any other rocks, the strength of glacier is higher. Once you are stuck forever. That's the power of glacier.
Thank you for the wonderful predict information about the Titanic. We are really very happy to know about this information, sir, in your precious time.
Thanks to World Wonder Prediction viewers. Please keep watching this channel. Let's see what Augustus says next time.